Have you ever wondered how a 19th-century priest in Bohemia could revolutionize the world of mathematics and philosophy? Hidden amidst the annals of history, there lies a genius named Bernard Placidus Johann Nepomuk Bolzano. Born in the heart of Prague in Bohemia, present-day Czech Republic, on the 5th of October in 1781, this remarkable man wore many hats. He was a Catholic priest, a mathematician, a theologian, and a philosopher. But Bolzano was not your average priest or philosopher. His inquisitive mind and profound understanding of the world led him to explore the realms of space, force, and the propagation of waves. He found joy in the world of numbers and equations, in the beauty of logic and reason, in the intricacies of theology and philosophy. Bolzano was a product of his time, born in an era that was steeped in intellectual curiosity and rapid changes. Yet he stood apart from his contemporaries. His work was not confined to the rigidity of traditional doctrines or the limiting barriers of the existing knowledge of his era. He pushed boundaries, questioned established norms, and sought to unravel the mysteries of the universe. At a time when Paris was the epicenter of scientific thought and discovery, Bolzano, sitting in a far corner of Bohemia, was silently crafting his own revolution. His contributions to the field of mathematics were groundbreaking. He laid the foundations for various branches of mathematics, such as the theory of functions, logic, and the notion of cardinality. But his genius wasn't limited to mathematics alone. Bolzano's philosophical insights were equally impressive. His magnum opus, the Wissenschaftslehre, or the theory of science, is considered by many as the first work to locate the sources of human knowledge and language. So who was this man who was a mathematician, a philosopher, a theologian, and a priest, all rolled into one? How did he come to make such significant contributions to the world of knowledge? Join us as we journey through time and unravel the life and work of this extraordinary man. Born in Prague, Bolzano's journey into the world of academia was as diverse as it was intriguing. Bolzano was the offspring of an art merchant who held a deep reverence for the Catholic faith. This spiritual influence would later shape his own worldview and academic pursuits. In the early years of the 19th century, Bolzano found himself walking the hallowed halls of the University of Prague, where his intellectual curiosities were kindled. His interests were not confined to a singular discipline, but rather spanned across theology, philosophy, and mathematics. Each of these fields offered him unique perspectives and insights, and together they provided a holistic view of the world that would later influence his groundbreaking work. Bolzano's studies culminated in his ordination as a Catholic priest in 1805. This spiritual calling was not just a religious commitment for him, but also a philosophical one. His priesthood allowed him to merge his theological and philosophical insights, which would later echo in his academic work. His appointment as a professor at the University of Prague marked the beginning of his academic career. He was assigned to a new chair, the philosophy of religion, a position specifically created to counter atheistic philosophies and ideas that stemmed from the French Revolution. Here, he was able to apply the knowledge and insights he had gained from his diverse educational background to advocate for educational reform and individual rights. However, Bolzano's academic journey was not without controversy. His outspoken views on war, militarism, and the Austrian government led to his prohibition from engaging in any academic activity in 1819. Despite these challenges, he remained steadfast in his beliefs and continued to use his education as a tool for advocating for change. Bolzano's diverse educational background played a pivotal role in shaping his future contributions. His journey from the son of an art merchant to an ordained priest and finally to a professor at the University of Prague is a testament to his relentless pursuit of knowledge and his commitment to using that knowledge to challenge and change the world around him. Bolzano's outspoken nature led him down a path of academic isolation and prohibition. A man of conviction, Bolzano was not one to shy away from controversy. Appointed to the chair of the philosophy of religion at the University of Prague, his role was to combat atheism and secular ideas born from the French Revolution. But Bolzano was not merely a defender of the faith. He was an advocate for enlightenment, pushing for educational reform in an era where the concept was still embryonic. His convictions led him to challenge the status quo, boldly proclaiming the rights of individual conscience over the demands of the authoritarian Austrian government. He spoke out against the absurdities of war and militarism, a voice of reason in a time of chaos and conflict. Yet his progressive ideas did not sit well with the powers that be. In 1819, His critical positions on the prevailing social conditions in the Austrian Empire led to his prohibition from engaging in any academic activity. The silencing of Bolzano was a stark reminder of the struggle between intellectual freedom and political repression. By 1824, the pressure from Emperor Franz I of Austria became too great, forcing Bolzano into retirement. But this was not the end of Bolzano's intellectual pursuits, far from it. With the support of friends and former students, he found solace in his isolation. This period of prohibition became a time of intense creativity and intellectual exploration for Bolzano. His isolation was, in many ways, a crucible that forged his most influential philosophical work, the Wissenschaftslehre, or Theory of Science. It was a testament to his indomitable spirit, a demonstration of how intellectual curiosity can thrive even in the face of adversity. Despite these setbacks, Bolzano's intellectual journey was far from over. His academic turmoil and isolation, while painful, were but stepping stones on his path to becoming one of the most influential philosophers and mathematicians of his time. In the solitude of his prohibition, Bolzano penned down his most influential works. Bolzano's primary philosophical masterpiece, the Wissenschaftslehre, or Theory of Science, emerged during this period of isolation. This remarkable opus, which many consider the first work to locate the sources of human knowledge in language, significantly influenced the development of modern semantics. It was a profound exploration of the philosophy of science and incorporated elements of logic, epistemology, and scientific pedagogy. In the realm of mathematics, Bolzano's contributions were equally groundbreaking. He laid the groundwork for various branches, such as the theory of functions, logic, and the notion of cardinality. It was Bolzano who first demonstrated the intermediate value theorem and gave the world its first example of a continuous function not differentiable at any point in the set of real numbers. His work on logic was particularly noteworthy. Bolzano studied the truth table of a proposition and introduced the world to the first operative definition of deducibility. His innovative approach to logical theory was groundbreaking and set a new precedent in the field. Bolzano also delved deep into the concept of infinite sets. His work, Paradoxes of the Infinite, was a tour de force that laid the groundwork for the construction of set theory by Georg Cantor. This exploration of infinity and the paradoxes it presents was a testament to Bolzano's intellectual curiosity and his ability to push the boundaries of known mathematics and philosophy. Despite the solitude of his prohibition and his distance from the great scientific center of his time, Paris, Bolzano's scientific studies were advanced for his era. His works, though developed in isolation, were of such depth and scope that they laid the foundations for future developments in mathematics and philosophy. Bolzano's work, though isolated from the scientific community, was groundbreaking in its depth and scope. His intellectual legacy, encapsulated in his groundbreaking works, continues to influence and inspire scholars in the fields of mathematics and philosophy to this day. Bolzano's posthumous fame is a testament to the timelessness of his work. This brilliant mind from ancient Bohemia left a lasting imprint on the world of logic, mathematics, and philosophy. His work, though initially unrecognized, would later gain admiration from some of the brightest minds in history. Charles Sanders Peirce, Georg Cantor, and Richard Dedekind, eminent logicians of their era, held high regard for Bolzano's work. Paradoxien des Unendlichen, or Paradoxes of the Infinite, published posthumously in 1851, was particularly admired by these scholars. This work of Bolzano's was a beacon that guided them through their own pioneering explorations in the realm of logic. However, it was not until years after Bolzano's death that a significant portion of his work saw the light of day. Otto Stolz, a mathematician himself, stumbled upon many of Bolzano's forgotten articles. Recognizing their value, Stolz took it upon himself to republish them in 1881. This act of rediscovery brought Bolzano's contributions to the forefront, allowing them to permeate the field of mathematics and beyond. Bolzano's influence didn't stop there. Edmund Husserl and Kazimierz Twardowski, both students of Franz Brentano, rediscovered Bolzano's work. Through them, Bolzano's ideas found their way into the evolving fields of phenomenology and analytical philosophy. His innovative logical theory, as presented in his Wissenschaftslehre, or Theory of Science, became a cornerstone in these disciplines, shaping their development and trajectory. Bolzano's legacy is profound and far-reaching. His thoughts on the sources of human knowledge, his exploration of infinite sets, and his operative definition of deducibility have become fundamental to our understanding of various branches of mathematics and philosophy. His work continues to inspire scholars across the globe, affirming the enduring relevance of his ideas. Bolzano's journey from a priest in Bohemia to a pioneer in mathematics and philosophy is a testament to the power of knowledge and the human spirit. His story reminds us that the pursuit of truth, regardless of the hurdles, can yield groundbreaking insights that transcend time and geographical boundaries.